Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to take a look at a question called high tide, low tide from 2017 CCC competition. So similar to it shouldn't be too hard or easy. Okay, let's read the problem. Joe Coder is camping near the Bay of Fundy between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. When he arrived at the bay, he was told the difference in height between high tide and low tide, as the Bay of Fundy was the largest difference in the world. Okay, however spectac, Joe decided to verify this. He chose a reference point after learning from the radio when the tides were highest and lowest. He went with a boat to his reference point and measured the depths of the water. Unfortunately, on the last day of his trip, a strong wind scattered his measurements. Joe has recovered all his measurements, but they had not been in original order. Luckily, he remembered something about his measurements. He started measuring water level at a low tide. His second measurement was of the water level at high tide, and after that, measurements continued to alternate between low tide and high tide. All high tide measurements were higher than all low tide measurements. Joe noticed that as time passed, the high tide only became higher and the low tide only became lower. Given Joe's measurements in no particular order, you must reconstruct the correct order in which the measurements were taken. Okay, let me explain this. So, I think there's one thing we need to particularly notice is all high measurements were higher than all low measurements. Yeah, and I think that's the main thing we gotta focus on. Moreover, there's one other thing. Joe noticed that as time passed, high tides only became higher and low tides only became lower. So, yeah, so I think we can just sort every measurements and output them in a particular way. Okay, let's code them in Java. Okay, so open up an IDE. Okay, I will just continue coding in this file. Too lazy to create a new one, so we have an int. Oh wait a second. We have like a total measurements, right? Let me check. So we have a number of total measurements and numbers. Okay, so gotta create a scanner first. Otherwise, this doesn't work at all. Use a for loop to scan all the inputs. Before doing that, we gotta create a array list or array to store our inputs. Just call measurements instead of inputs. Measurements. And okay. Huh. Doesn't this work? Okay, we gotta put a bracket here. Okay, now this works. So, oops. Not like that. And we gotta sort everything. So arrays dot sort. So you shouldn't like write a quick sort while doing the contest. It's just too time consuming. So we just sort it with the built-in function from Java library, and that's it. So we know our measurements start from low tide. So if I have an odd number of inputs like 3, there will be 2 low tides and 1 high tide. So it will be like low, high, low. So if it's like 4 inputs, it will be low, high, low, high. So there will always be more or equal low than high. So we can divide the n by 2, so it will automatically round it down if it's a decimal number. So if it's like a 2.5, it will be round down to 2. So our high number, it will be n divided by 2, and our low number equals to n minus high number. So if n is 5, high number will be 2 and low number will be 3, I think. Yeah, 3. And now all you need to do is to output everything. Keep it in mind that low tide is starting from low tide is well, let me check it again just to make sure I'm not making any stupid mistakes. So high tides only become higher and low tides only become lower. Okay, so basically we can just set the index of high tide and low tide. Okay, so okay, let me think how I can do this like with just one for loop. Okay, so basically we know that the index is starting from so int low index is equals to n minus, so low num minus 1, because the index is starting from 0, and int high num equals to low num. Okay, high index. And now we just gotta print everything, and int, let's create a counter to count how many measurements we have created, we have outputted. And let's make it an while counter minus minus. Okay, perhaps this doesn't work in Java, so perhaps counter is, as long as counter is bigger than 0, and counter minus minus. Okay, so what we gotta do in the middle is if we'll print low tide first, so if low tide, low index is bigger than -1, then we just output our number like measurement, print line measurements dot I, dot low index. There's no I here else. Okay, if high index is smaller than n, and then we just print high index. Okay, good. Oops. We gotta count how many times we have printed, so we have to make it in the if statement. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So high tide is only become higher, so let's make high index increment by 1 every time it prints, and low as well. Like low is like decrease by 1. So I hope this one work. Let's try to run a sample. Ten 4750 blah blah blah. Okay, I think it's wrong. So we gotta debug a little bit, but before that we gotta like modify the way we print since it's wrong. Like we're not gonna use print line, we're gonna use print plus a space, and that's the way we are doing this. Okay, let's print again just to make sure the format is good. Oops, I'm not showing you guys what I print, so. Let's check. The low tide is getting lower, the high tide is getting higher. Wait, I think I got it right. Let's check the sample. It's 11. Oh, that's really right. I read the sample instead of like the output. I just upload our answer, see if it works. Submit it as Java 8. Okay. Really hope this works. Yeah, and I think I got everything AC. So yeah, thank you for watching. This problem, I tried to like attempt it before like 6 months ago, or like a long time ago, but I couldn't do it at that time because I didn't pay attention to this thing, and so it started from low tide. So I had struggle with like the odd number of tides. So yeah, just pay attention to those small details. Sometimes they actually matter a lot. Sometimes I just like try to skip all those paragraphs of words of descriptions, but sometimes those descriptions actually matter. If I didn't look at it, I couldn't solve it, and it would just be wrong answer. So let me show you my submissions. So 3 months ago, yeah. So I got all those test cases wrong uh, because I didn't consider the all number of like the input. So yeah, just to remember to pay attention to the small details in the contest. So thank you for watching. Bye. Wait, yeah, I should like do a little bit more of final conclusion. So for the CCC contest problems, you should always sort it with like the system default sort, or you you can also write your sort as well, but I don't recommend that. But if you like use easy sorts like bubble sort or insertion sort or inserting sort, they won't work because their time complexity is too high. I'm not sure about this problem, but if you write it off to n squared solution in other problem like uh, 2020's S1 summarizing sprinter speed, it doesn't work. It will time out, and it will be really sad to like TLE a really easy question. So yeah, for this question it worked because it's only 100. So just to just like make your life easier and use the system default sort from the library. So thank you for watching. Bye. Good luck on your contest as well.